Hello, viewers. Welcome to CodeForAny, Fruit Market app and Backend API Insight. Today, need to develop this here the delivery boy users API. We need to starting here. First of all, need to making here the gets here the all pending delivery for the orders list. We need to develop API. Now, need to write down here app dot post, and we need to write down here the slash API slash app, and to write down here the name of the delivery boy order list boy orders list. We need to create here the request and response for this API. Like here's now need to check here the access tokens. Need to pass here's headers request object request dot headers. Then after need to pass this here the response, and if here the valid tokens, then to get this here the user objects need to return here, and also need to only access this API only user two types users means delivery boy only access this API. Like this we need to set here the conditions. We need to write here. Now need to get here the list of orders. We need to get here. Need to write down here the query like here's. Now need to pass here the parameters. Then after we need to set this gets here the query results errors and response. We need to get here's the here. Then after now need to check here the errors. Need to give this here the helper dot throw HTML errors. I need to pass this here the errors and response and return these functions. Now we need to write down here if results, and we need to call this here not needs any if conditions. We need to clean here. Not here the JSONs brackets states, and we need to set here the one, and we need to also set this here the message, not message. We need to need here the payload and to pass here the result. Like we need to set here now need to making here the query for the getting all delivery boy orders. We need to go inside here the SQLs, and we need to set here the select query like here. We need to set this here for these orders, and now we need to needed information. So need to put here now need to only show this user payable amounts, not showing other things. We need to remove this here the total order amounts. No needs. Need to delivery boys show payment types. Also need to show payment status. No needs for here address latitude zip codes, and we need to check here the items like this. Set here created dates also no needs. We need to clean here and modify dates maybe needs years. And now this is right here. Now need to create here the alias OD, and we need to write down here the inner join, and we need to set this here the items. Need to set bind with here the users details as need to give this here the UD on methods. We need to call here and to write down here the UD dot user ID user underscore ID equal to slash. Need to set this here the OD dot user ID, because we need to need this here the mobile numbers like this information. That's why need to inner joins. We need to call here, and we need to set this like here the value put here address latitudes longitudes zip code pay amount status and modify dates. And now another columns need to put here UD dot name first name last names maybe. Need to check here the tables is good. User details. Set here the name, mobile codes, and on the dot mobile code ud dots mobile. Like we need to write down CS for this data. Now need to set here the where conditions, not where and condition. To write down here the OD dot. Need to check here the status is equal to check here's assign orders equal to or bigger than, so we need to set this here the order status as need to check these tables structures order not offer order details and need to check here the 2 3 or for status more than 2 and od dot status less than 4 to set like these conditions then to show like this data for the getting here's and also need to write down here the order by and we need to set here the od dot status equal to need to set here the 2 and comma 3 and 4 like these conditions and to check your query need to maybe ud fields unknown columns so need to check here to make issue need to fix and now get this here the data. Now we need to put here this query data like here's and now need to bind with here put here plus sign and conditions ud dot user underscore id not ud dot od dot delivery boy underscore id and we need to give also this query here merge line and to give this here the user object dot user id like this sets here and now this is the getting here the delivery boy order list we need to get here and we need to save here and to like this show here now we need to create here the another api we need to develop this here the order status change for the delivery boy we need to making here the api need to like here the out of delivery then after another status for the deliver status like two status api we need to develop here and to set here now need to save here need to create here copy paste this here this query and you need to give this here the order out for delivery like this right here and you need to save here the helper dlogs need to print here the request dot body and where request object equal to request dot body like this write down here and also need to check this here the parameters so need to needs here now need to set this here the helper check parameter valid functions need to calls need to pass this here the response then after need to give this here the request object and also need to needs here the required parameters need to put inside this value first of all need to need this here the order underscore id and give this here the status no needs now like this sets here for informations we need to put this here And if here the count these parameters inside the body, means here the start, like here's we need to cut this query, here's the data, and paste this here's. Now we need to call here the update status API for the database, and also need to entry of the set here for the status change. Need to set here the database. Now we need to call here the API. We need to creatings and change the status for these orders. Need to write here, need to go inside here the apps order details, and need to write down here the SQL query updates. Need to remove this here the order ID. You need to needs here another things. You need to removing here. Need to manage this here the status is equal to, need to set here the 3 means here the output delivery, and created dates also need to remove here, and modify dates is equal to set here the now, like here's, and conditions set here the order ID question mark, and need to write down here the delivery boy question mark, and status is equal to, need to write down here the 2 means assign orders, like this status, then to update this here this query need to put here. Now need to first ones need to pass this here the order ID, request object dot order ID, like this need to pass here. Then after, so need to create this here the API done, and to check this here the result. If results affected row more than 0, means here the successfully change the status, and you need to return this here the response. You need to set here the message orders out of delivery successfully, order out of delivery successfully, like this. Need to returning this message, and response inside need to give this here the JSONs, and we need to write down here the fail. We need to set here status 0, and to set here the message MSC fail, like here's. And another query you need to write down entry for the database. You need to set here for these orders. Already yesterday need to making here, now need to copy and paste the changing here the assign status, copy here like this, and we need to paste this query here, cut here, and paste this here. Now update this status, give this here the order ID, and to change this here the status as a 3, like this. Save here, and this is the delivery. Delivery by order out of delivery status need to set API, need to done here. Now another API for here the need to call for the delivers, change here API name deliver, like here's order ID, and we need to set here like this here's, set here the status 4, and we need to change here the status 3, like here's user ID, like this sets here, and also need to change this here the status was, and to write down here the order deliver, like this order delivered successfully, and to save this here. If you like this video, please give the thumbs up. If you're new user, so please subscribe my channels and press the notification bell icon. You can get every new video notifications and awesome content. If you have any question, so please write down the comment section, so I will help you and sort out your issue. Everyone have a nice day. Goodbye and take care.